everyone, this video is for the educators who are planning to teach this poem in their respective classes. The name of the poem is The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Now, this video will be helpful for the educators who are planning to teach ninth grade. Also, the educators who are planning to teach the advanced curriculum and the educators who are planning to teach the strength of 60 to 70 students. Let's start with the objectives of this particular poem. Here are these. Number one is about the theme. The poem explores the significance of choices and their impact on life. Also, the values imparted in this particular poem. It teaches the importance of individualism and the courage to make decisions that shape one's future. Now, we will require some materials in the offline or online setup. Let's talk about the offline setup. So, first of all, we will be requiring the printed copy of the poem along with highlighter, pencil, and pens, followed by dictionary and most important digital board or whiteboard if you have in your classes, along with digital pen and the marker. Now, there will be two approaches which I will let you know that you can use in your classes to teach or to start this poem, or we can say to discuss the poem. Now, ways to conduct this lesson in the classes. The first way or the first approach is given here. I'm giving you a few seconds to just have a look to this flowchart that would help you following the understanding of the poem. Now, we are back everyone, and let's begin with the step number 1. So basically, in approach number 1 and approach number 2, the other steps will be same. However, step number 1 will change. Now, we have following ways to start our lesson. Number 1 is the traditional method that we tell the students that this is the poem that we will be teaching and we are going to start the lesson by reading and then explaining. A bit boring, you may say that, I believe, or you may say that it's a bit traditional. However, what if I tell you to start your lesson with writing a quotation on a board? And the quotation is going to be choices we make, choices makes us. As you can see, it is written here also in step number 1. So we are supposed to write on the board, choices we make, choices make us. And then we will be asking a few students to share their understanding about this quote using real life examples. Then step number 2 is going to be the reading session. We will be asking a few students to read different stanzas as a whole class. Now, educators, please make sure that you keep correcting the students for their pronunciation and intonation. Now, step number 3, approximately of 30 minutes, we will be starting and reading the stanza number 1, followed by the explanation. Then, the educator is going to ask a few students to read and explain stanza number 2. Now, you as the facilitator is supposed to fill the gaps as per the requirement. We will continue the same thing with other stanzas, means stanza number 3 and stanza number 4. Remember, very most important thing is to fill the gaps as per the requirement. Now, dedicate last 10 to 15 minutes for consolidating the learnings by asking if they have any queries. Now, if your students tell or the learners tell that they don't have any query, then you are supposed to be ready with some questionnaire to check whether they have understood the lesson properly or not. Now, this was about approach number 1. Let's move to approach number 2. I have already told you that the other steps are going to be same. However, step number 1 in approach 2 will be different. Let's see how. Here it is. Now, One way was to write the quotation on the board and ask. The other way to start this particular chapter in your classroom is to ask the question, have you ever made choices in your life? Now, when you have asked this question to them, you also pause for a few seconds and let them share their experiences. If they are able to share, well and fine. Otherwise, being the facilitator, you need to be ready with a few examples of the choices that you had made. Now, step number 2, 3, 4, and 5 are going to be as same as approach number 1. So, these are the two ways through which you can conduct or you can begin this particular lesson in your classrooms. After you have completed, make sure to give them the homework along with some CCQs. So, you are supposed to tell them to complete the exercises given in the textbook in their fair copy. Also, please make sure that you give them some CCQs, means concept checking questions, so that they can write their answer as well. That's all from my end. I hope this method, or maybe I can say these methods, are going to help you in your classroom. If you have another approach, please feel free to share with me.